In this video, we will continue to talk about VRAY for SketchUp, and in particular, we're gonna see some other render settings and other tools and techniques that we can use here in VRAY. So in the previous video, we talked about the IBL technique, which is image-based lighting, and it's good to render out single objects. In this video, instead, we're gonna go back to an exterior rendering. So we're gonna use natural light, actually the lightning that we find in SketchUp already. And we're also going to see some other additional settings which are pretty important. And we're gonna see something to create, well, not only the realistic effect, but also something more technical like plants and views, and also something again like a technical drawing. So let's get started here. And you can already see one of these effects, which is the clipper effect. And this is another of the VRAY objects that we have here at our disposal. So let's start with this mesh clipper, and then we will proceed with other topics. So how to create this object? It's pretty simple. So first thing we need to do is we need to create a box. So I'm going to create a simple rectangle here and then extrude it with the push and pull tool in SketchUp. And then I need to create a group out of this, or a component. So right click and let's make a group. Now once you have a group, you can convert this into a clipper object. Now I'm going to get rid of the older one and I'm going to delete it. So you can see now the structure here, it's complete. It doesn't have sections, it doesn't have anything exposed. It's just the simple house. You can also import houses or architecture from the 3D warehouse or other websites. So this is just a model that I created in another course, and I'm going to use this one here for this example. So if you want to create a section, all you need to do is to place this above the project like that, and probably you need to move this up about 1 meter, 1.5 meters. Okay. Oops. Now be careful where you're gonna snap here, and there you go. You can also scale this. This is just like any other object in SketchUp, so you can use the SketchUp scale and scale it more. Now be careful where it's positioned, so I'm gonna bring it higher, and I don't want to see the roof, so I need to stretch this a little bit more using this other handle here. There you go. And now let's run a render. Okay, so you can run an interactive render or you can run a standard render, it's up to you. And in this video we're gonna focus more on the interactive render. This is the bucket, the classic bucket rendering, but you can see the effect here of the section. Okay, now be careful not to have two surfaces in the same position, otherwise you're gonna get strange effects. You need to delete one surface or the other, otherwise it's gonna juxtapose and create that effect. Now if I want to create a section, I just need to move this in another position, so like that, and let's stretch this again with a scale. Okay, now if you want to have like a particular color for the section, you need to go to edit the object. So you're gonna go to VRAY Asset Editor, Geometry, and this is the mesh clipper right here. You can also change here, you can intersect, either intersect or subtract, and this is the subtraction here. And right now you can also turn this off from here, and you can use the object material for the part that is gonna be cut, but if you want you can change this. And for this occasion I've created a particular material, so I'm gonna deactivate the use object material and I'm gonna pick a material here from the list, which is called red for me because I wanted a nice visible red section, so I'm gonna use this one here. this is just a standard material that you can create also. It's like something like this. I don't need other channel, I just need the diffuse color and apply a color, and that's it. So let's try it out. And let's use an interactive render right now. So I'm going to use the viewport interactive render. And that's it. Just give it a second. It's going to refresh. There you go. So now this depends on how you created your 3D model. So you can see here probably I would have some empty part, but in this case it's showing this as an entire block. But you can see here this is a nice section. You can also use the views here in SketchUp. This is a front view, and we can go to camera and go to parallel projection if you want 2D like CAD drawing. Okay, and now let's stop this, and we're going to deactivate the clipper, and we're going to see some other effect. So again, these are all effects to have like a technical drawing. We can also right click and hide the clipper object. Okay, then let's render again, and I'm gonna show you another tool that we can find in the render settings. So let's go to settings, and we're going to see all of this little by little. So we already saw some of these, but we're gonna see more, and we're gonna concentrate in this video in the interactive settings, because you have different settings if you're using interactive or not interactive. So here we're gonna go directly to material override. Now material override is gonna place one material and to all the objects in the scene, so it's gonna override everything. And this is good if you want to get something like a small architecture model made like in plastic or cardboard, or well, depends what material you're gonna assign here, but this is like standard white. Now another tip is never assign a color which is gonna be too white. Always stick with a very bright gray, but never go too far with the white, because we don't have the total white ever. Also, if you have like really pure snow, it's never gonna be total white, so it's gonna be like a little bit, let's say, dirty with the gray. So you can also pick another material from the scene if you want to override the scene with that material. But we're gonna keep this one here for the moment, and let's switch again from camera parallel to perspective. Okay, because it's gonna be nicer. And let's use this interactive rendering here.